sometimes people will call us and say, Tom or Robert, our mom she's in rehab and she's not going to be able to go home. She's going to have to go straight to a nursing home. She's going to be there in 7 or 10 days. Can you help us in that short a period of time? Can we?
The answer is yes. Um, we're very fortunate. We've got a great Medicaid team. I think we have one of the best in Central Florida, if not the state. And of course, we all have our workload, but when we have a crisis situation, that goes to the front of the list, and I can get any document done to protect the money. Medicaid applications can get in at the last day of the month. That's why in the Medicaid world, the end of the month is always the busiest. And if you ever seen Medicaid's policy, Tom, their book's like 2,000 pages, but there's one line in it that makes the whole policy worthwhile. If you're eligible for Medicaid one day of the month, you're eligible for Medicaid every day of the month. So if somebody's worried that they're having to private pay for a month, but we can get them eligible the last day of the month, goes all the way back to the beginning.
And we call that crisis planning, and it's just a fact of life that's something we have to do often for our clients, and we understand. We're prepared to do that for them. We have another Medicaid planning. We call it pre-planning, and for that, we call it a Medicaid assessment. And tell the listeners about that.
So when we talk about pre-planning, right, it always starts with education. So we'd love for people to come to our workshops. And part of pre-planning is also a ladybird deed, as Tom always talks about, of helping to avoid probate, but it also helps no recovery from Medicaid. A crucial part is then the financial power of attorney. You have to have one that is up to date and current. And then the last part is a Medicaid assessment. I'm not sure of another law firm that does it, where our clients will fill out an information sheet, and then I will draft a letter, if you will, that's about 8 or 10 pages long, and I will go through all of their income. I'm going to tell them if they're over the income limit each month for Medicaid and what that remedy is. I'm going to go through every asset. I'm going to tell them if it's countable or not countable, and I'm going to tell them how I'm going to protect it. It becomes a blueprint for them to follow if a crisis happens. We don't want someone scrambling at that last minute, if not possible. If it's a husband and a wife and the husband had a stroke, we don't want the wife worrying, oh my God, I'm going to lose my life savings. We want her to be concerned about her husband, getting him the right medical help, and then we have the plan for him.
Robert, we know it's a constant that the parents, they want to pass on as much of their wealth as they can to their children without it being all eaten up by nursing homes. So that's our starting point. And the beauty of this Medicaid assessment is that it is customized to the client, whether they're a single person or a married couple, takes into consideration all the different kinds of assets they have. And then you create this blueprint for them about what would happen if one of them or both of them go into a nursing home. And then they can tell their kids, here's a blueprint. Here's what you need to know if one or both of us need to go into a nursing home. All the tools that you need to put in place to protect our wealth from nursing homes.
Exactly. And it is it's customizable to them, but it also tries to replicate their estate plan. It comes in a nice binder, and it actually is very similar to your binder. So in theory, if they're an Olsen Law Group customer, they're going to have their estate planning binder, and they're going to have their Medicaid planning binder all together.